Welcome back. Howie Mandel has been open in recent years about living with obsessive-compulsive disorder, anxiety, and ADHD, but it wasn't always that way. He had a turning point in 2006 after an appearance on the Howard Stern show where he was asked to touch a dirty doorknob. He just couldn't do it. Since then, he's become an advocate for mental health, and he joined the Bell Let's Talk campaign. I sat down with Howie and his son Alex to learn more about the challenges of being a parent with mental illness and what it's like to grow up with one.
You don't know how somebody's going to react when you share. But the truth is, we're not on this planet alone, and everybody's got some.
People who have mental illness are people, and we lose so much when we throw them over there, when we put them off to the side.
You know, sometimes it can be painful, even sometimes for those who are around me.
So I encourage everybody to find, if you don't know that person now or you don't know that place now, to find that place to open up and talk.
You've been part of this campaign for a couple of years now. Why is this so important to you?
Because it's important to talk about everything. Talking is the answer. It really is, to every problem there is. You know, if you have a problem, you say, let's talk about it. And mental health is probably the most pervasive issue that anybody has. And you don't have to have OCD or ADHD or anxiety or depression like me and family members have, but you just have to be human. And the thing is, there's a stigma about, you know, sharing your weakness or your inability to function and getting help about it. I believe that we should take care of our mental health like we take care of our dental health. And I've listened to people ad nauseum tell me about their retainer and their root canal and how they're taking care of their teeth, but what about how you're dealing each and every day with whatever issue you're dealing with? Well, I'm very comfortable with my discomfort. So I'm as uncomfortable talking about that as I am about my, I don't have a retainer.
You don't?
No, do you? Did you have one?
Not now.
But mine's built in. I can't get rid of it.
You have a built-in retainer?
That's what we do in Canada now.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I mean, I have one. So.
Can I? Are you comfortable talking about it?
Well, I'm so used to it now.
But there's help.
Yes.
And you went and got help.
Right.
And talking about it is the retainer for our minds.
I like
wow.
that. Yeah.
What, you don't like that?
It's okay.
I'm trying to come up with something. It won't be, not everything I say could be a t-shirt.
Alex, why did you want to be part of this campaign this year with your dad?
I think that it's important just because growing up with him, I got to see everything that he's dealt with and going through, and as well as myself. I think that it does get passed down.
He's blaming me, is what he's doing.
Yeah, so it's his fault that I also have ADD and anxiety and all this stuff, but it is something that affects me, and I think that one thing that people don't talk about is it affects a family as a whole, even if only one member has that. So I think it's good that we are doing this together because we've had to deal with it together as a family.
And we talk about it.
And we talk.
Take me back a little bit to when you first started to notice your anxiety, your OCD as a child.
I don't remember any time that I didn't notice that I was different and scared and uncomfortable and nervous and felt very alone from my first recollection is that, you know, being afraid to touch my shoelaces, you know, because they touched the ground, and having the other kids make fun of me because they said I didn't know how to tie my shoe, and I'd rather take that bullying than touch my shoe and show them that I did know how to tie my shoe. Did
you recognize in that moment, I mean, you were probably pretty little, that other people didn't have those same fears?
I didn't think about other people, but we all feel alone. In whatever we're thinking right now, nobody feels like that. When you walk into a restaurant and you think heads are turning and I can't wear this jacket, everybody's looking at me. They're not, but you feel like very alone. And that's the point of talking. Words are our connection, and we need to connect. If we connect, we'll be more comfortable. It's kind of like holding hands, the one thing I don't like to do, but I hold hands with words. Is that a t-shirt?
Not yet.
Okay.
You're getting closer, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that family dynamic, and let's talk about talking. Do you always remember your dad talking to you about his OCD, about his anxiety, or did that come a little bit later?
No, that came later. At first, it was just something that we dealt with. I knew because I saw everything that was going on. I didn't know it was very different than what other people are going through until I was in school, and my friends would tell me that that's not what their parents do, and things are very different. He's doing things that are different. So that's when I started to think things were different. But it was still normal to me, like if I was going to get sick, he was not going to be inside.
I moved to another building.
Moved to another building.
Somebody watching right now, if they're, you know, listening to you guys and wondering when you're talking about something's a little bit different, what exactly are we talking about? I mean, what was your experience?
What I did? Well, a big part of my OCD was my fear of germs. So if the kids were getting sick, I built another, like a guest house, so I would move into another house. If I had to care for them and be part of the house, I think he didn't learn until he was in his teens that I had a mouth, because I usually wore a surgical mask
and gloves.
Yeah.
Really?
So that was most of the time. And I wouldn't touch or pick up anything. You know, a lot of people have the 5-second rule. I had the eternity rule. Once it fell, it stayed there for eternity.
So that's another thing, you know, because I have 2 young kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And, you know, when you have your own kids and you're watching them grow up and you're looking for things that perhaps you need to manage later on, when you had your own children, did you have fears?
No, because I'll tell you, because when they were young, I didn't know, you know, I knew that I had these issues and I knew that I had a struggle, but I didn't know that it could be genetic. I didn't get it identified until real late in life, until I was in my 40s. So I wasn't cognizant. This is just my own little battle. Now I'm aware, and this is why we have to talk. And what you're talking about with your young children is what I think you should be concerned about. Maybe how they're reacting to things. Do they have fears? Do they see me? Is there somebody they could talk to? Why isn't that part of the curriculum, so that early on we could give people coping skills?
Talking. That's what I'm doing right now. Right now you're listening, but I want you to stop listening, and I want you to start talking.
Yeah, the conversation continues. You can catch Howie Mandel, a Bell Let's Talk Day special with Melissa Grelo. That's happening this evening at 7 Eastern on CTV and CTV2. Go to ctv.ca for local listings.